Hi, I'm Rick Olson with the Prior Lake Rotary Club. Our club will be offering tours through Eastern Europe next May. We will be traveling through Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, Slovakia, and Hungary on the way south on May 9th through the 19th. And then we will return with another group of travelers from May 19th through 31st, back up through the same 8 countries. We will be starting at Tallinn, Estonia, which is a beautiful city on the Baltic Sea, to a 2-hour ferry ride across from Helsinki, Finland. This is the entrance to the old town in Tallinn. And we'll be going from city to city in a 19-passenger minibus. We've contracted for this minibus with a professional driver included. The plan is to start early in the morning and to arrive at the next destination each day before noon. The next city we'll be reaching will be Riga, Latvia, another old city with interesting old architecture and multiple cathedrals and churches. Of course, we will have the opportunity to eat at many places. This is Rosengral's, a very interesting medieval type of a restaurant down in the basement. Very interesting. From there, we'll move on to Lithuania, where we will stop at the Hill of Crosses, which is actually a protest site against the Soviets when they were occupying Lithuania. We will stop at Klaipėda, Lithuania, and one of our stops will be at the LCC International University, where I had the opportunity to teach in 2018. And from there, we'll move on toward Vilnius. And on the way, we'll stop at the Krakow Castle, a 15th century castle that's been restored. It's very beautiful, and you'll enjoy that. Vilnius has tremendous architecture. It's very, very beautiful. And the Pope was there in September of 2018, right here at this Cathedral Square. And again, we will be having the opportunity to eat at very local restaurants. You won't find many McDonald's or Burger Kings and such, so we'll be eating at local places. From there, we'll move on to Warsaw, Poland, which is really quite a beautiful city. And there we will see the Palace of Culture and Science, which was a gift by the Soviets to the Polish, which was actually not very well received by the Polish people, because it was built in Soviet style. An optional evening there in Warsaw will be a Chopin piano concert, which we took part of last May and enjoyed greatly. Old Town Warsaw is actually all rebuilt because the Nazis pretty much leveled all of Warsaw before they left in 1945. From there, we'll move on to Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial Museum. This is not the most fun day, but it's quite impactful because over 1 million people were killed here. We'll see things like the shoe collection and the crematorium and the ovens, and it's a rather somber day, but it's definitely worth a visit. From there, we'll move on to Vienna, Austria, another gorgeous city with a very historic city. Another optional evening there will be a Mozart concert, which some people took part of last May, and again enjoyed greatly. From there, we'll move on to Bratislava, Slovakia, basically for lunch, and take a walk through the old town of Slovakia, Bratislava, on the way to Budapest, Hungary. Now, in this picture in the far left, you will see the Hungarian Parliament building, very beautiful. It's beautiful. Budapest is just an awesome city. One of the sites is the St. Stephen's Basilica, which was built in 1896. Then you can see on the lower right there is the Bridge of Chains. In those days, they didn't have the ability to build big cables, steel cables and such, so they built this out of chains, much like a bicycle chain. From there, we'll move on with the first group heading home, and the second group starting and reversing our trip. Only on the way north, we'll stop in Prague, Czech Republic, um, and we'll see the St. Vitus Cathedral in the Prague Castle. Very ornate, beautiful. And of course, we'll have more opportunities to eat the local cuisine. After Auschwitz on the way north, we will stop at Krakow, Poland, rather than stopping at Ostrava, Czech Republic, as we do on the way south. Now, this is more than an ABC tour. You know, the British say, you know, another bloody this, another bloody that, another bloody castle, another bloody church, because although you'll see a lot of beautiful castles and churches and capitals, this will be a traveling seminar. In that, we'll talk on the bus on the way to the next city. We will talk about the history of that area, the current economic condition, the current business climate, but maybe most important, the political climate in relation to the European Union and Russia, because these are countries were known as the bloodlands. And the likely takeaway you'll have from this is what I did when I first visited these countries in September of 17, was that these countries are strategically quite important, and that securing these countries' independence within the European Union is very important. Along the way, we'll have several walking tours of the cities, and at least in Budapest, we'll have a local tour guide. David, who we've contracted with again to do it, be with us. And in the cities, we may have the opportunity to visit with local Rotarians as well. I know we'll be able to meet again with the Rotarians in Klaipėda, Lithuania, and we also met with the Rotarians in Budapest in May of 18, or of 19, excuse me. Now, traveling through Europe is really quite convenient because, as this chart will show, all these countries are members of the European Union. All but 3 are members of the Eurozone using the euro for their currency. Only in Poland, Czech Republic, and Hungary will we need to use local currency. And we'll maintain a cash box that you can exchange currency, so everybody's not running to ATM machines for small amounts of change and then getting local currency left over in their pockets they don't know what to do with. It's also convenient for traveling through these countries because all 8 of these countries are part of the Schengen Borders Agreement, which means that people can go from country to country without needing their passports. Now, many of the hotels, when they'll be checking in, they'll be wanting your passports for identification and so forth. So we'll need to keep them handy, but you won't need them to go from country to country. As you can see, also, all of these 8 countries except Austria are part of NATO. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania were actually part of the USSR. And all of the rest except Austria were also part of the Soviet-dominated Warsaw Bloc, or Soviet Bloc. Now, these tours are really quite inexpensive because compared to commercial operations. The trip south, May 9th to the 19th, is only $1,750 total, including the tips for the volunteer student tour guide, which is going to be, once again, Julia, a young lady from Ukraine who's just plain awesome. And on the way south, you may very well take advantage of the option to first go to Helsinki, stay at Hotel Arthur, take a short tour of Helsinki, and then take a 2-hour ferry ride to Tallinn. That's just a little bit extra, $110 extra per person. On the trip north, starting from Budapest for May 19th through the 31st, is $1,825 total. Now, these are very competitive because we've got no office overhead, no personnel costs, no commissions, and no advertising costs whatsoever. So, but airfare, lunches and dinners, and optional attractions such as the Mozart concert or the Chopin piano concert, those kinds of are extra. Now, if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me. 320-248-9933 is my cell phone, and there's my email address, olson48176@gmail.com. The website for the tours is freedomquesttours.org, and there is a registration page where you can either pay your $200 for down payment or a registration fee, or pay by Eventbrite. Also, there is a very detailed itinerary on that site. So thank you very much for watching this video, and we hope that you can join us. We have had a great tour last May, and we hope to have just as great a tour in 2020. Thank you.